Smoking gas, running from the feds. Switching lanes in a Rari. I see him talking all that shit. That bitch better not start.
Are back. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Draco, and I'm back with another motherfucking banger video. Why my shirt hanging so low? Anyway, today I'm coming at y'all with part 2 to the Surviving Diddy documentary. I ain't gonna waste no time. We're gonna try to react to like 20, maybe 30 minutes of it, and then I'll hit y'all with a part 3, and then if necessary, we'll take it to a part 4 and etc. But y'all, we are so close to 400 subscribers. We are at 362 subs. Everybody who watching this video right now, like the video and subscribe to the channel and turn post notifications on. And yeah, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Now, without me talking too much more, let's get straight into it, man. We're gonna pick up right where we left off. The last time the video cut, and I was very upset about that because I only gave y'all a 19-minute video when it was supposed to be longer than that. I recorded for like 40 minutes and it only accounted for 19 minutes and like 14 seconds or some shit. But I'm already talking too much. Let's get into it right now.
Over time, the former victims become the perpetrators. Now, of course, these are all just rumors, but Jaguar does get more specific. When Sean was hired at Uptown, Andre Harrell had a personal assistant named Kim Porter, and the rumors state
Bad, bro. The camera keep cutting and shit like that, but let's just get back into it. Oh shit.
And Kim Porter had footage of it.
The rumors have never proven to be true, but they will be important later on. Well, make of all that what you want, but the fact is that Sean's career took off from here. After becoming the vice president of Uptown, Sean truly put his head down and grinded for success. He scouted the local underground scene in order to find his first diamond in the rough. This is how he discovered his first artist in 1991, an MC out of Long Island by the name of Craig Mack. Craig was an instant success, but Sean wasn't satisfied with just him. While scrolling through the Source magazine, Sean was intrigued by a rapper in the unsigned hype.
This is completely off topic, but did bro get his nose surgically reconstructed? What kind of nose was that? I'm sorry, bro. I ain't trying to be an asshole or nothing like that. I just want to know, why the fuck was bro's nose so goddamn big? And people be telling me I got a shotgun barrel nose, but boy.
This would be a young rapper out of Brooklyn by the name of Notorious Big. So in March of 1992, Sean got in contact with Big and brought him to the studio. He was blown away by his talent and instantly signed him to Uptown Records. Boom, this was his next Uptown protege. Now I know what you're thinking, but Biggie was a certified street dude and he was not going for that. It was strictly a business relationship, and here is where things get interesting. It's the fall of 1992, and Biggie completes his first album to be released. The debut album is called Ready to Die, and both him and Sean feel very strongly about the project.
Honestly, I wasn't alive during this time, but luckily I have people around me who were alive back when Biggie and Tupac was going at it and everything like that. But Ready to Die, I actually went and listened to it. Bro. It's one of the greatest rap albums of all time. No discussion. Biggie is one of the greatest rappers of all time. And there's no denying that. If you deny that, then you don't know rap. And I hate when all these rappers, I get it. Rap and the rap game is very, it's very, you're competing with your other, rappers in the world. And I just feel like we do too much nowadays. I don't know if it was like that back then or if it's always been like that. But I feel like nowadays with rap, bro, we do way too much. Like, people just need to learn how to, get along with each other and be grown men and just, bro, like, just make money together. Like, we would make so much more money if we weren't always going after another person for doing the same shit that we're doing. That's why a lot of people say that the rap game is played out, like, and it's not fun anymore, and it all sounds the same. And in my opinion, bro, they're not wrong. But back when Biggie and Tupac were around, I feel like that was the golden age of rap, gangster rap more specifically. But yeah, I just had to say that real quick. Ready to Die is one of the greatest rap albums ever. Like, one of the greatest. Not saying it's the greatest rap album of all time, but it's definitely up there. And anybody who want to argue about that, come see me about it.
Project. But there's a major problem in the way. Uptown's parent company refuses to release the album. They expressed that the album was not to their liking and contained too many explicit lyrics. As you would expect, Sean was upset and so was Biggie. Sean did not respond well to the decision, and because of this, he was fired from Uptown Records in late 1992. This was devastating, but Andre Harrell had his back no matter what.
Final straw for me was when MCA wanted me to not put out the Biggie Smalls album because they didn't like the subject matter, and they wanted me to tell him he's got to change his tone. And it wasn't up to me, I felt, to tell a generation what they could and could not do artistically. So I knew it wasn't going to work because he was coming from a new space and a new era. And Biggie Smalls was more like in the streets and telling street stories. And he told them, well, I'm really letting you go so you can get rich. I'm really letting you go so you can get rich.
But was this really the case, or was something else at play? Puff had just gotten fired from his dream job at the age of 23. Most people would be devastated, but Sean fell right back on his feet. Just a month after being fired, Sean started his own label called Bad Boy Records. Obviously, the 23-year-old didn't have the pockets to fund it himself, so it was initially a partnership with Arista Records. Wait, let's get this straight. So Sean was fired by Uptown and then given his own label by Uptown's bosses. How does that make sense? Well, it's possible that Jaguar...
Damn, bro was getting passed around like fucking Instagram models. What the hell? He went from this record label to that record label. Then they passed him to this record label. Jeez, bro. He getting passed more than a blunt on 420. God damn.
Right was correct.
He stepped around Andre Harrell and gave you the keys to the kingdom. Andre was in line.
So again, here's the idea. Andre Harrell had to do special favors for Clive Davis in order to be hired and then get his own label. And once Andre established his label, he repeated the same cycle on Sean Combs. But for former Uptown singer and assistant Jaguar Wright, she believes that Clive Davis was in on it as well. I guess her idea is that Sean did things for Andre in order to be hired, and then he did things for Clive in order to climb the ranks. And being that Clive is above both of them, he had the authority to give Sean his own label.
What will happen with this AI if the government will let it happen?
Shut up, bitch.
Andre got passed over.
Is everybody's audio cut right here? Let me know in the comments if everybody's audio cut right here. And earlier to refer about what I was talking about the
Intern.
Biggie album.
And that's because you know Clive Davis, and we all know he has lots of secrets. Clearly, he trusts you.
But hold on. I could have sworn that Biggie dropped an album called Ready to Die. Or was that like a single? Because I don't want to sound stupid on here. You feel me? Either way, bro is one of the greatest rappers of all time, and there's no denying that. And I stand on that. But anyways, back to this. Why in the world is that the criteria to gain a different spot at your job? Why do you got to do special favors for these people? That's fucking weird. And the fact that y'all actually do this shit just because they sell you a dream, that's fucking sad, bro. Motherfuckers really just, I don't know, man. I can't. This is why I can't be around nobody. I don't fuck with nobody. And that's why I stopped doing music too, because like y'all go say here I'm capping and shit like that, but I had record labels wanting to, you know, sign me for a good little deal, and it's like I'm turning them down because it's like, nah, bro, because I see how creepy this fucking music industry is, and I'm not down with none of that, bro. Like, you ain't about to touch my man candy. You ain't about to toss my salad, all right? Ain't none of that happening around here. Like, do I look like James Charles? Do I look like Shane Dawson? No? Alright then. Nah, but somebody told me I look like Austin Jones. Fuck whoever said that to me, bro. I don't hit up underage girls. That's what Austin Jones does. I don't hit up underage girls. I don't ask them to send twerk videos to me, bro. Like, the fuck? I got a girl. And I don't even ask my girl for twerk videos. Because it's like, just come do it in person, you feel me? But that's another topic. Let's get back to the video. I'm talking too much.
He stepped around Andre Harrell and gave you the keys to the kingdom. Andre was in line.
If the rumored power dynamic is true, then Clive Davis did replace Andre Harrell with Sean Combs. Meaning...
Wait. So, does this state... I'm probably gonna sound so fucked up for this, but... Okay, so... Did Diddy suck dick better than Andre Harrell? Like, what the fuck was going on in this bitch, bro? Like, dude, bro, Hollywood is just weird, bro. Like, oh my god. I'm sorry, bro. I'm fucked up for that, man. Alright, let's just get back to the video. Let me shut the fuck up.
That now, instead of Andre, it was Sean doing special favors for Clive. And as a reward, Clive made Andre drop him from Uptown and gave him his own label. Of course, though, this is all silly speculation. But what's not speculation is that Uptown's artists were released from their contracts and were able to sign with Bad Boy Records. This way, Sean now had full control over Biggie and Craig Mack. Well, after starting Bad Boy, Sean started going by the alias Puff Daddy. This is a name given to him by his mom because when he was a kid, he used to huff and puff whenever he was mad. So now we enter the era of Puff Daddy and Bad Boy Records.
Wait. So his mom called him Puff Daddy? Or she just called him Puff? Where did the daddy come from? That's some... I need to, like, cleanse my eyes after watching some of this shit. I need to read a Bible after hearing most of the shit that Diddy has done. Cause it's not alleged anymore. It's hard proof that this shit happened. Oh my gosh, bro. And the situation's not even over. Like, within the next year and a half or so, this situation is going to get even more crazy. And Diddy is not the only one who's going to be arrested. I hope y'all know that. I don't want to say anything, but I feel like just getting off of, you know, the topic at hand of this video. I just want to say this. I feel like Usher may also go to jail. I don't think they'll keep him in jail, but I do feel like he will face some legal problems with everything that's going on with Diddy because, remind you, Usher and Diddy used to live together. Therefore, Usher had to have seen or condoned the type of activity he was watching Diddy do or that Diddy was involved in. I'm telling you, bro, like, when Cat Williams did that podcast earlier this year with Shannon Sharp, and he said the truth is the light, and everything that was done in the dark is gonna come to the light. I didn't believe him at first. I thought he was just, rambling, just some old comedian rambling and everything like that. But now that I'm thinking about it, bro, he was not wrong about that shit at all, bro. Everything that was done in the dark is now slowly starting to come to light. It's real crazy, man. Be vigilant and stay to yourself, bro.
Puff's Bad Boy released their first album in July of 1994, which was Craig Mack's Flavor in Your Ear. The album took off to immediate success, and this is how Bad Boy entered the industry. Then just 2 months later, Biggie's debut album Ready to Die released as well. Both albums did well, and Puff was eager to keep it going. So just
I was gonna say, I knew I wasn't tripping. I knew Ready to Die was like a full project. In my mind, I was thinking like, nah, maybe that could have been a song, but like, I just wanted to make sure I didn't sound retarded, bro. Like, I mean, dumb. I'll cut that out, editor.
weeks after Biggie's album, Bad Boy released Craig Mack's second album, Funk the World. Puffy couldn't miss, and he was eager to recruit more and more new artists. He was becoming so respected in the industry that other moguls were coming to him for advice. And that takes us down to Atlanta, Georgia. In 1992, music mogul L.A. Reid discovered a 12-year-old singer named Usher Raymond. While watching him perform at a local talent show, he saw some Michael Jackson in him. He was so impressed that he signed him to his label LaFace Records at just 13 years old. Interestingly enough, LaFace Records was under the Arista umbrella. Just keep that in mind. Well, the story goes that in order to prep Usher for his music career, he was sent to go live with none other than Puff Daddy. So at 14 years old, Usher was sent to live with Puffy full-time, something known as Puffy's Flavor Camp. I guess the idea was...
Dog, what? They had kids go to something called Puffy's Flavor Camp? The parents of these kids need to be in just as much trouble as Diddy. I don't give a fuck what anybody got to say. Fuck your opinion, bro. If you're a parent and you allowed your kid to go to something called Puffy fucking Flavor Camp, you deserve to be put in jail. This shit disgusts me, bro. Like, ugh.
Puffy to mentor him and send him down the right path. But according to Usher, there was a lot more going on than just that.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle,
Right.
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was,
So
it was
nobody
crazy.
tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't
But
say
you
that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
What do you mean by curious things? Because if it was just full of a bunch of half-naked women in orgies, why couldn't you just say that? Why, like, if it was a bunch of females, why couldn't you just say that it was full of females at that time? Why do you gotta say it was curious? You made it obvious that there was something ominous going on in the dark. Bro, this whole situation, it baffles me, but like, honestly, I'm not surprised, bro. Like, I'm not surprised. Like, I knew something was up with Diddy. You know, you calling other rappers daddy and shit like that, bro. Like, what, bro? Hell nah.
Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil Kim, Craig Mack,
All these people
all
are
of
hanging
these-
around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans,
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. I had like,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
See?
Many people out there believe that Usher was Puffy's first victim of the power ritual. There's no proof to show that, but these clips may convince you that something strange was going on.
I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the frosted flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
What the fuck did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this with me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the frosted flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid.
So what do you guys think? Is Usher a part of surviving Diddy, or is this just a silly assumption? Well,
No,
now
he
we move on
definitely
to the
part of
next
it.
chapter. Regardless of all the nonsense, Puff was truly a genius at discovering and developing artists, and in the process, he was gaining immense wealth and power in the industry. As you would expect,
won't
the
deny
success
that.
got to his head pretty quickly. By many accounts, Puff grew an obsession with having complete control. He wanted control over everyone around him, even for the silliest things. So here is the first example. The year is 1995 and Craig Mack is eager to continue his success. So he puts together his third studio album, one by the name of Operation Get Down. The story goes that he brings the album to Puff to get it released, but things don't go as planned. Puff allegedly tells Craig Mack that if he wants the album released, he has to fire his manager and then hire a bad boy manager. But Craig's manager is one of his closest friends and has been rocking with him since day one. Because of this, Craig is loyal to him and tells Puffy no.
That's real shit. If you've been rocking with somebody before the fame and they've been rocking with you just as hard as you've been rocking with them and they've had your back just as much as you had their back. If you're real and you're a real genuine person, you'll stick by that person's side no matter the situation. No matter if somebody came to you with, X amount of money and everything like that. Loyalty trumps everything. That's how I feel. So I respect Craig Mack for, staying loyal to his homie, bro. Because if the shoe was on the other foot and Craig Mack was the friend and his homie was like the star or whatever, I feel like his homie would do the same thing for Craig Mack. But that's just me. I really respect that. Anyway, back to it.
Even though it's a silly request, Puffy is pissed because he doesn't have control over the situation.
Puff told Craig Mack if he didn't change management, he wasn't with him no more. Craig wasn't getting rid of his management. Craig said, yo, listen here, man, I'm not changing my manager just because you want to. Puff said, yo, I ain't that kid no more. Not at all. I was right there when he said that. Told Craig Mack, you don't change your management, I ain't fucking with you.
Craig stands on his principles and refuses to fire his manager, so Puffy decides to be petty. He completely stops paying him and refuses to release his music. This made things awkward at Bad Boy.
That's fucked up, man. What? Because he won't turn his back on his homie? You gonna freeze his money and shit like that? Bro. People are vindictive and they're manipulative, bro. Stay away from these type of people. People like Diddy is people you need to stay far away from.
Craig no longer had the power to control his career or his narrative. In this 1995 interview, you can see the awkwardness on full display. Like, Craig Mack could not believe that Diddy would really lie on camera like that.
I'm sure you got much things in store for my man. Yeah, definitely. We got a new album we're working on him to drop in January.
You can see the disbelief in Craig Mack's face, like, no way he's saying this. From here, frustrations grew further between Bad Boy and Craig as Craig felt betrayed by his boss. I was your first artist. I was the one who took the risk and signed to your label. And more important,
I'd feel betrayed too. What the fuck? I've been making you this amount of money, and you gonna turn your back on me because I won't fire my manager? Because he's my homie and I've been rocking with my homie way longer than I've been rocking with you? If Diddy was a real, genuine dude, he would have understood that. Like, oh shit, that's some real shit, dog. My bad. Like, you know? But of course not. Shit crazy, man. Ain't much more I can handle of this, bro. Like, we gonna finish the whole video. Not this video, but we will finish the entire documentary.
I've made you a whole lot of money. And now you're willing to throw away my career over a silly manager. What is going on? But not only did Puff want his career to dwindle, it's also rumored that he wanted him killed. Craig knew what Puff was capable of, so everywhere he went, he rolled around with a blicky, something very risky in New York City. He even contemplated getting rid of Puff in order to save his own life.
I had a gun in my lap. And I'm sitting there, I'm talking to God, I'm like, Lord, I don't want to do this. But if it comes to getting ugly where somebody's going to be trying to kill me, I'm going to have to do something first or do something to prevent that from happening.
150%. If I know that somebody is coming to kill me and I know what they're capable of, best believe I'm gonna get them out of there because I love my life. I got family to provide for. I don't know the situation with Craig Mack, but I got kids to take care of if he has kids. I don't know if he does. He looks like an old head now, but no disrespect to bro. Yeah, bro. 150%, bro. If somebody is trying to kill you, it might be frowned upon, but sometimes as a man, bro, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro. And if you know this person could take your life, if you know that this person has disposable money to where they could put a hit out on you, it's the best to get them up out of there before they do something to you. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's keep going.
I never thought that the shirt I wore to school one spring morning would lead to a federal lawsuit. But the reaction from the adults running my school didn't leave me.
In what world should an artist have to fear for his life because his own boss wants to harm him? Well, Craig says that Puff tried to set him up at the studio, but when he showed up with certified goons, he decided to back off. So thankfully, the situation didn't end terribly, but it was the start of a new era for Puffy. Not only had he become a control freak, but now he was bringing the threat of violence to the table. Slowly, the golden child of the industry was becoming the villain behind closed doors. And now we enter Diddy's violent era. While the Craig Mack drama was taking place internally, a whole nother beef was stewing in the industry. By the fall of 1994, Bad Boy had competition for rap's biggest label, and this would be California's Death Row Records. Particularly, Tupac had become the biggest star in rap, and everyone wanted a feature. In this case, Uptown Records producer Ron G wanted Tupac to record a verse for Biggie Smalls. So Pac asked for $7,000, and Bad Boy agreed to pay for the verse. So Pac records the verse with Ron G and then is told to go to the Quad Studios in Manhattan to pick up the money. And that takes us to November 30th, 1994. Pac arrives in Manhattan and walks to the Quad Studios. As he's entering the building, he hears some Bad Boy associates yelling his name from the upstairs window. Pac is excited to meet with Bad Boy and he walks in the lobby to take the elevator upstairs. But as he approaches the elevators, two men in masks are waiting for him right there. Before he can run, the men whip out and reach for his pockets. Pac tries to fight them off, but that's when the men make a wild decision. While being carried out of the lobby, Pac flips off Notorious Big and other Bad Boy associates.
Oh, this is the shit that kicked off everything between Biggie and Pac. See, I didn't know the backstory. I did know that in Manhattan, Pac got shot like 5 times or something like that. But damn, that's crazy, bro. I didn't know the situation. I know what happened to Pac. Like, I didn't know that he may have been set up by Biggie and everything like that. That helps me understand why Biggie and Tupac's beef was so personal, you know? I'm glad I watched this video because, like, I wasn't alive for this time, like I said. So, me seeing and watching and hearing all of this, it's very educational for me, man. Like, I appreciate people like Swamp Storiez who make documentaries on, like, you know, stuff in the world that us youngins may not really know about too much. Because I'm 19, bro. I'll be 20 next year. So I don't know about none of this shit, bro. Like, I wasn't even playing yet when all of this was going on. But back to it.
Assuming that they set him up. Thankfully, though, Tupac would survive his injuries after a successful surgery. Speaking of injuries, if you or a loved one are ever injured, you deserve the absolute best on your side. That's because your injury could be worth millions. In that...
Swamp Storiez. I fuck with you, man. But why didn't you just do this at the beginning of the video? Why you gotta do this damn ad when there's already been 1,500 ads? I understand motherfuckers gotta get paid and shit, but like, bro, I be just coming here for the video. Like, I respect the business and everything like that and whoever's sponsoring you, but I don't want to hear that shit.
In case you can contact... But no, with Morgan & Morgan, they fight hard to get you what you deserve. 350,000 over 100 offices. So did you know that you can start your Swamp Stories? Or just click the link in the description. Well, after the incident, Pac wholeheartedly believed that Bad Boy set him up to be killed. At the time, though, he couldn't do anything about it as he had his hands tied with a legal case involving a woman. In fact, the day after his surgery, he appeared in court where he was sentenced to 8 months in Rikers Island.
Damn.
While incarcerated, the national story was that Bad Boy set him up to be robbed. On top of this, Pac did an interview while incarcerated where he said that Bad Boy did it overtly. He claimed that when he was on the way to the studios, Puff kept calling him to see where he was. He wanted to know when exactly he would get in. And that was Pac's main reasoning for thinking that...
That is very suspicious in Pac's defense. I would think somebody set me up too. That's crazy. But why? Why though? Was it because Diddy knew that Pac was a threat to what he had going on? Like, what was it? Like, what made him become a D1 crash out and get this to happen to Pac, you know? But hey, this world crazy, like I've said multiple times in this video, man. And the world is not what it seems.
Set him up. Because of this, Puff was under major scrutiny and he needed to clear it up.
So I started saying what's up to him. I'm about to get on the elevator, and he comes out shot.
The Tupac article had me pissed off, you know what I'm saying? Because first of all, he dissed my man, said my man turned his back on him, and I know for a fact that didn't happen, you know what I'm saying? And like the rumors that's spreading is on some tip like we set him up, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy, and that's crazy.
If there's any psychologists watching, please let me know why Puff's eyes are having a dance battle.
I'll tell you why his eyes are having a fucking dance battle. Because he knows damn well that he set up Pac for that shit to happen. That's literally the body language of a person who is lying. Look at him. Liar. And he's lied before. Man, y'all motherfuckers gotta pay attention to this shit, bro. Real shit. Real shit.
Anyways, Puff was not done clearing the air. In fact, he visited Tupac at Rikers Island to assure him that Bad Boy had nothing to do with it. But was this really the case? Because Puff's bodyguard claims that he let this happen to Pac.
The people who knew what was going to happen to Pac was in the studio. Was in the part of the quad studio with Jimmy Hitchman, and that was Andre Harrell and Puffy. So Puff knew. Andre Harrell knew.
If Gene Deal's perspective hasn't convinced you, then maybe what happens next will. In February of 1995, Biggie released a hit song called Who Shot You, which many people think is a Tupac diss. And one of these people was Pac himself, who felt betrayed and lied to by Puff. You told me one thing to my face, but your actions proved otherwise. To an alpha male like Pac.
Oh hey, with Zeem you can stream free local TV from all over the country. Zeem speaks for itself. It really doesn't need a celebrity spokesperson, but
that was the ultimate disrespect. Well, after the record, all peace was off the table and Death Row cut ties with Bad Boy. That takes us to August 3rd, 1995.
I just caught that. So Death Row and fucking Bad Boy Records was like combined? Oh, that's even more fucked up. Because now I understand why he would do something like that to Pac. Because Pac was technically signed to another label. And as we've seen in earlier examples in this video, Diddy doesn't like when he can't control a person and when he can't have a person all to himself. Now it makes more sense. Okay, alright. That's crazy.
It's the annual Source Awards in New York City, and Death Row are nominated for Soundtrack of the Year. Of course, tensions are in the air because the show is in New York, and everyone is curious if anything will happen. Well, Death Row wins the award, and Suge takes the stage.
First of all, I'd like to thank God. Second of all, I'd like to thank my whole entire Jumbo family on both sides, you know what I'm saying? I'd like to tell Tupac to keep his guards up. We ride with him. And one other thing I'd like to say, any artists out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star, and don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.
This was obviously a sneak diss at Puff, and the crowd was not feeling it. To make matters worse, Snoop Dogg takes the stage and doubles down.
The East Coast don't love Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. The East Coast ain't got no love for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Death Row. Y'all don't love us. Y'all don't love us. Well, let it be known then. We know y'all East Coast. We know we at East Coast of
Damn.
This moment here officially kicked off the Bad Boy versus Death Row beef. This meant that Puff's gangster was now being put to the test for real. Being that they exist on opposite ends of the map, interactions would not be often, but being in the same industry, the sides were bound to cross paths. September 23rd, 1995. Here we are in beautiful, well, not at the time, but here we are in Atlanta, Georgia for Jermaine Dupri's birthday celebration at the Platinum House nightclub. Here, much of the rap industry will be in attendance by midnight. Early in the night, though, it's just the Bad Boy crew and associates hanging in the club before it opens. This would, of course, be Puffy, his bodyguard Wolf, Too Short, Dallas Austin, and plenty more. So they're all chilling in the club and a couple of hours go by. And this is when they receive some unexpected visitors. At At 10 p.m., the Death Row crew arrive at the Platinum House parking lot. First, a Death Row associate named Big Jake walks in the club to scope it out. He then looks around and sees Puff Daddy and Jermaine Dupri sitting at a table in the corner. He instantly walks back to the parking lot to tell Suge where they are. Then together, the massive duo walk into the club headed for Puffy. They walk straight up to the table, and that's when Suge Knight slaps Jermaine Dupri directly across the face. This is simply to get to Puffy, who's standing right behind him. Suge then grabs Puff by his arm and brings him in. He begins yelling at Puff, but that's when Wolf gets in between them. He tells Suge it's not gonna go down like that. So it turns into a brawl, and they're all escorted out of the club. After all this, Suge and Puff actually hug it out and squash the beef. But then out of nowhere, shots go off across the street. So they all duck down and look over to see what's going on. All it is a man across the street shooting his gun into the air. But while everyone is distracted, a man walks right behind Big Jake.
We own the club, the Platinum House.
Damn. So, damn, that is crazy. So there was one person shooting in the air. That person was obviously the distraction to the real threat. That's crazy. That's some mafia type shit.
I had been at Jermaine Dupri's party and I seen Jake, and he was looking for Puff and they was looking for Jermaine and them there, and I didn't see them at their own party. Jermaine Dupri, his security, Puff with Wolf. And Jake looks in and see these guys. Suge came back. Boom, 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 boom. He came right in and slapped the out of Jermaine Dupri. And Puff was standing right there, and he snatched Puff with one hand. Suge had him with one hand and was shaking him. Then Wolf reached over and grabbed him. Shit ain't going down like this no more. Standing there, Suge's in front of with Puff. They walk into the limo. All of a sudden, somebody started shooting across the street. I can see this dude just busting. Pop, 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 pop. They were called the play for the overlay. They started shooting across the street to make everybody look. We looked. The dude came out of nowhere and just touched Jake. And Jake was about 400 pounds.
Big Jake was Suge's best friend and Death Row's security wherever they went. So this loss was devastating to Death Row, but they had no idea who did it. But then a few days later, 3 witnesses reported that Puff's bodyguard Wolf was the assailant. Whoa, did Puff's bodyguard take out Suge Knight's best friend? Well, about a week later, Wolf was arrested for the incident. So, does this mean that Puff ordered the hit of Suge Knight's best friend? Death Row definitely assumes so, but Wolf was able to beat his case about a year later. In the meantime, though, the beef was up. With Tupac shot and now Big J killed, Death Row was looking at Puffy like an absolute menace. And coincidentally, not too long after the loss of Big Jake, Tupac was released from Rikers Island. As soon as he got back to LA, he hopped in the studio and recorded Hit 'Em Up. One, if not the most disrespectful song in rap history. He dissed Biggie by saying that he smacked.
It is the most disrespectful diss track ever. No discussion, no comparison. Hit 'Em Up is the greatest rap diss track of all time. There's no, it's not even an opinion. That's a straight fact. But we're gonna watch maybe like 10 more minutes and then I'll get it at y'all in part 3. Let's get it.
Smashed his girl and pretty much obliterated the whole bad boy camp. As you would expect, Puffy was pissed. But at this time, he felt invincible, so he decided to do the unthinkable. He decided to schedule a bad boy tour on the West Coast from Seattle down to San Diego. However, he knew that the tour was a risk, so he decided to tap in with his best connection in LA. This would be a man named Keefy D, who he met at a hydraulic shop in Compton. Essentially, in 1994, Puff asked Keefy if he could borrow one of his cars for a video, and they locked in from there.
He had called up our hydraulic place and asked to use a lowrider.
But Keefy wasn't just a car guy, he was also a...
Dude right here, bro, he talk way too much. And that's why his dumb ass sitting in a prison cell right now. Because he talked too much. He get on these interviews and think that the feds ain't watching this shit. Just because the shit happened over 20 years ago or some shit like that. Then, bro, if the case ain't solved, the feds will always be looking into it. Always. And they'll swoop and get you one day. That's exactly what they did to Keefy D. He should have kept his mouth closed.
High-ranking member of Compton's Southside Crips. So naturally, when Puff announced his tour, he hired Keefy and the Southside Crips to protect him.
He had a West Coast tour coming up. But Zipper can't pick me up. We rolling up Greenleaf in our neighborhood. And his phone ring. Boom. And it was Puff. And he like, you think it's cool to come out here and do concerts? I'm like, why it wouldn't be cool? Just let me know the dates and give me some tickets. We had the Crips there. But I see he was trying to play us against each other. Crips, Bloods, you know what I'm saying? Sugar, Blood, we the Crips.
So behind the scenes, Puff was potentially creating a beef between Compton Crips and LA Bloods.
I guess he played it smarter. Dude with the red, I get the blue.
Well, thankfully, nothing happened and the tour went smoothly. But later that year, they would run into each other at the Soul Train Awards and they would have a standoff backstage. Allegedly, Tupac and Suge pulled up on Puffy.
You hear the door go boom, and then you see Tupac with Suge and about 1,000 Bloods and Crips walking down the middle of the auditorium, just screaming because Big them had just went off. So just imagine Tupac coming, walking down the aisle, walking up the steps, and just walking into the back. It wouldn't have been too good if they had got hold to him, because they couldn't have handled what they had with them at that time. They were totally outnumbered.
Puff felt embarrassed and disrespected, and something needed to be done. So allegedly that next night, he took Keefy D out to dinner on the Sunset Strip. And there, according to Keefy, Puff offered him $1 million to get rid of Pac.
He and Puffy are at this place called Greenblatt's Deli on Sunset. And he tells Keefy D, man, I just need you to take care of this situation with Suge and Tupac.
Keefy, he's claiming that Puffy offered him $1 million to kill Suge or Tupac.
Both of them. Yeah, both their names came out.
$1 million in 1995 is equivalent to over $2 million today. And to a Compton Crip who's probably broke, this is life-changing money. If this is actually true, then Puff is a cold man. Because there's no way in the world that any gang member would ever turn this down.
Exactly.
And Puffy knew this. It was only a matter of time. September 7th, 1996. It's a big day in Las Vegas as Mike Tyson is set to fight at the MGM Grand. Of course, for the big fight, all of the celebrities are in town, including Tupac. Well, it's the afternoon and everyone is having fun before the event. Particularly, Tupac and Suge Knight are walking through the casino lobby. That's when they're approached by a man who's being disrespectful. This would be a young man named Orlando Anderson, the first cousin of Keefy D and fellow Southside Crip. Well, the story goes that he disrespects Pac, and Pac socks him in front of everyone. Orlando is furious, so he goes and gives a statement to police.
Tupac punched me.
Then he meets up with Keefy D and tells him about what happened at the casino. So Keefy and Orlando sit in the hotel room thinking about what they can do. Then they get a call from a very important factor. This would be a New York plug and associate of Puffy by the name of Eric Von Zip. Zip allegedly calls them and says to meet in his rental car. Keefy and Orlando hop in and he hands them a Glock 40. They then hop out and Zip takes off. Keefy and Orlando then hop in their own car. 11 p.m. The Tyson fight empties out and Tupac hops in Suge's BMW 7 Series. Suge then pulls off and stops at a red light on Las Vegas Boulevard. Coincidentally, Orlando and Keefy happen to be reaching the same red light. They hear some girls yelling Tupac's name and approaching the BMW. That's when they pull alongside the car. From there, Orlando rolls his window down and the rest is history. The incident shocked the world and shifted all the attention away from the Mike Tyson victory. The world's biggest rapper was now in critical condition and not expected to survive. 5 days later, on September 13th, Tupac was pronounced dead at the hospital. Everyone wanted to know who did this, but no witnesses ever came forward. Well, here is where things get juicy. Damn, that was corny. Right after the news broke, Keefe D recalls getting a call from Puffy. He claims that Puff asked him, "Was that us?" and promised him the $1 million reward.
You said that Puffy called and said, "Was that us?"
Because Puffy called too, right?
Yeah, him and Biggie's wife. What's her name? Faith. Yeah.
So tell me about that. Them 2 calls and everything.
He just asked, "Was that us?"
Who said that?
Puff did.
Now it's time for Puff to pay out.
You see what I'm saying, bro? Talked way too much, but that is crazy, bro. Diddy really ordered the hit of Tupac. That is nuts, man. That is nuts. As I watch this video, I'm slowly starting to realize and understand why so many people were just letting Diddy get away with the shit that he was doing to them, because they were scared of him. That's what I'm getting out of this. We gonna react to about maybe 4 more minutes, and then I'll hit y'all with part 3 another day. Sorry that part 2 took a week. I just been chilling with my girl and everything like that, spending valuable time with my girl, because you know, times like those, like, they're very precious. And you know, and when I'm with her, I'm off of my phone. Like, I don't give a fuck about what's going on the internet and everything like that. I'm focused on her, and that's how it should be. But eventually, I'll get her on the channel so y'all can meet her and everything like that. Let me know if y'all want to see that. But, yeah, man. We're going to react to 4 more minutes, and then we're going to end this video.
Up. He allegedly sends $1 million check to Zip and tells him to wire it to Keefe.
Zip had a check in his right back pocket, and that check was for $1 million.
Now, all that needs to happen is for Zip to deliver it to Keefe, and his life is changed forever. But did you guys think that would actually happen?
So the FBI told you that Zip kept that money as well?
They said Zip's a dirty Everybody cross you.
You guys never got any money?
Never.
For anything?
Nothing.
Damn! That's shiesty as fuck! Oh my gosh! I don't know why I actually thought he gave him the $1 million, bro. Damn! That is cold-blooded. You mean to tell me I go take out this person because you said that you would pay me $1 million, and I'm a broke Southside Crip member, so obviously I'm not gonna turn that down. That is fucking crazy, bro. Wow, bro. Damn.
Not even a pair of Sean John drawers.
Man, what was Puff thinking? It's almost like he orchestrated this.
But he never gave the money to him.
But thank God he never gave him the money, right? Think about it. If he gave the money, Puffy will be in prison now, money for hire.
You know, Eric Von Zip keeping...
Oh my God, it makes sense though. Oh my God, what the fuck? See, bro, despite all the evil and nasty shit that the Diddler has done, you cannot deny that this man was a genius. Because if he was stupid, he would have actually delivered the money to Keefe D and them. But since he kept it, that means his name cannot be attached to the crime. Damn, bro.
Money kind of shielded everyone from the situation in its own
So he's a savior
type of way.
According to the FBI, because Zip didn't give the money to Keefe, Puffy dodged prison. But here's my question. Is Puff really responsible for what happened to Tupac? Yes, he did offer the $1 million, but it was Tupac jumping Orlando Anderson that really caused the situation, right? Well, Keefe disagrees, as he thinks that Puff is to blame.
If I wouldn't have never met him, I wouldn't have never been involved in this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Damn, man. So you feel like Puffy, he's the reason for your empire and Suge empire going down because of the whole situation with Tupac.
Exactly. He the only one still balling. Because he pitted us against each other, it seemed like.
But what do you guys think? Is Puff responsible for the loss of Tupac, or is Keefy D a grown man not taking responsibility for his actions? Well, if you ask Diddy, he'll tell you that he had nothing to do with it.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to even go there with all due respect, but it's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Regardless of what you believe, the truth is that Puff was becoming the boogeyman of the rap game. With Big Jake and now Pac gone, Puff felt like nobody could mess with him. His violent ways were just starting, and that takes us to the next chapter of the story. After the passing of Tupac, Puff went about his life like nothing had happened. But for whatever reason, his bad boy artists were not so secure in their ways. In fact, they were very cautious of their whereabouts and made sure to avoid California at all costs. Eventually, though, they would have to go back to Cali. And that takes us to the Soul Train Awards of 1997. The awards are held in Los Angeles, and because of this, the bad boy artists do not want to go. In particular, Mace thinks it's too risky, and Biggie decides to not go at all. He happens to have a broken femur, and he tells Puff that he's in too much pain to fly back and forth. He also mentions that going to LA is not the best idea, which is really the real reason. But Puff tells him that he'll be safe and nothing will happen.
Alright, we gonna cut it right here. If y'all enjoyed this reaction video, make sure you leave a like, comment, fuck with the subscribe button, turn my post notifications on, boy. And yeah, man, we learned a lot. This was probably a long ass video. Watch the whole video. Yeah. Shit, bro, that's basically all I had to say, man. If you want to watch the original video instead of watching these reactions, link will be in the description down below. And yeah, man, I'll see y'all in part 3 or when I come out with another video.